The chilling reason that Delphi prime suspect Richard Allen may have chosen to work in a CVS is revealed by a forensic expert. Okay, let's take a look at the following article here, and I'll join you at the end with my own thoughts. It states the following. A forensic expert has voiced a chilling theory explaining why the suspected Delphi murderer may have chosen to work in a CVS near the crime. Former medical examiner Joseph Scott Morgan suggested that working in a pharmacy could have given prime suspect Richard Allen intimate access to the community and a quote, sick pleasure while investigators desperately searched for leads in the haunting case. He said, quote, when you think about a pharmacist or a pharmacy, they know more about you than you might suspect. They know what kind of meds you're on, they know when someone in your family is sick, and to kind of layer it on top with this suspect, he's developing photographs. Allen, a 50-year-old father, was arrested last month in a bombshell update in the 2017 Delphi murders probe. Haunting information has surfaced on the only identified suspect in the murder, including the fact that he has been right beside the crime throughout all these years. I think that it's significant that he remained behind in this little town, Morgan said. The crime expert said that he did some digging on the location of the CVS where Allen worked, and it was widely accessible to the community. In these rural areas, a lot of people depend on a big box store like Walmart in order to get their pharmacy needs met, he said. The closest Walmart's like 14 plus miles away, but yet right there downtown you have CVS. As a certified pharmacy technician in such a conspicuous location, it can be assumed Allen oftentimes interacted with many members of the small community. In fact, Libby German's heartbroken grandmother even claimed the suspected killer printed off pictures for her slain granddaughter's funeral, Fox 59 reported. While these claims have yet to be proven by officials, Morgan said that it could indicate a dark explanation as to why Allen never fled the town. When we look at cases like these, you have to think, did he derive some kind of joy from it, Morgan said. Did he hold on to items from that scene? Investigators have said that pieces of Libby and Abigail's clothing were missing when they were discovered. Officials suspected the killer had taken a souvenir and believed photographs or videos were likely shot of the monstrous setup to memorialise the crime scene. Morgan continued to theorise on the chilling motivation behind Allen printing photographs for Libby as the grandmother claimed. If he developed those photographs, did he have duplicates? Did he derive some kind of sick pleasure from it, he said. Those are the questions that law enforcement is going to be asking. More haunting clues have surfaced that give an inside look at Allen's life in Delphi, including a chilling picture of his daughter in what appears to be the exact location where Abby and Libby were last seen. Allen's arrest created a huge stir in the Delphi community, and one CVS employee told the newspaper that they were shocked to hear that he was taken into custody on October the 26th. The people who worked with him had no clue and were just as surprised as everyone else, the anonymous source said. They're all just really hoping that there's some kind of mistake in that it isn't him. But at the same time, if it is him, they hope there is solid proof because everybody wants to see this come to an end. There's just a lot of mixed emotions. This comes after prosecutors made a shocking announcement that they believe Allen may not be the only suspect involved in the slayings. Carroll County prosecutor Nicholas McClelland argued against unsealing the documents, claiming it would jeopardise the multi-year investigation. The prosecution apparently believes that Allen is not the only suspect involved in the murders. We have good reason to believe that Allen was not alone, that there could be other actors, McClelland said in court. McClelland also argued that if an unredacted affidavit was released, witnesses in the investigation could be harassed. Judge Gull said that she would take the motion to release Allen's charging documents under advisement. However, for the time being, the documents will remain sealed and a ruling will be made at a later date. After the hearing, Allen's attorney said the revelation of a potential second suspect involved in the murders is news to them. Okay, so what are my thoughts on some of the points raised by this gentleman in this newspaper article? Now, he discusses Richard Allen working at the CVS, and one of the benefits of this would be that Richard Allen could create, process, and possibly even store photographs. Now, if this was a case that took place back in the 70s, or maybe even the 80s, I could understand what this guy is saying there. But we're looking at a crime that took place just a few years ago, back in 2017. This sort of stuff you could do at home. You know, a lot of stuff is stored on digital media devices, USB sticks. People have digital cameras. So I don't really buy into that idea that this guy is sitting in a dark room, you know, processing photographs like the old days. I don't really feel that there's much to back up that sort of idea. He does, however, seem to make a valid point regarding Richard Allen's choice of workplace, CVS. Now, we know that he got his pharmaceutical license in around February 2018, roughly a year after the murders of Liberty German and Abigail Williams. And that CVS store, it would be very well known. Everyone, I would imagine, in that local area, that local community, would know and most probably used that CVS store as a place where you could go to collect your prescriptions, and was clearly very well known to anyone who lived there. So I do believe that there is a possibility, based on the fact that Richard Allen is guilty, which we don't know at this point in time. He is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. But if it turns out that Richard Allen is in fact guilty of these murders, I do think that that does raise quite an interesting question there. Did he actually insert himself into that role? A place where he could communicate with the locals, communicate even possibly with the family members of the two deceased girls. I guess ultimately there really is two ways that you can look at this. By having such a public job, and the fact that we have video of this individual on the bridge, and also his voice, most importantly, that is quite a risky thing to do. To be in such a public role, serving people, attending bars, going out for drinks, playing pool. Now, I've just pulled up an article here from The Independent, a newspaper from this country, and there's quite an interesting quote here. Mr. Underhill said that Mr. Allen always seemed normal when he would come into the pub where he works. I would talk, he wouldn't say much, he seemed like a normal guy, he said. One of my servers was telling me that he wouldn't speak much. Now this is, as I say, quite a contradiction. We do seem to get two versions of events in regard to the character, Richard Allen. I hear a lot of, this guy doesn't talk very much, he's very quiet, keeps himself to himself. But then I have heard from other people, customers of that CVS store, who say he was probably the most polite person in there. Very helpful, nothing was ever too much trouble, always said hello, can I help you with anything? So as I say, we do get very conflicting viewpoints on this individual. And I guess I get that opinion when I look at the Facebook videos on his wife's profile. There's some videos where he's dancing around the pool table, setting off fireworks, having a laugh, and other videos where he appears very sullen, very quiet, almost as if he doesn't want to talk. And really, do we know what his state of mind was during those videos? We don't, do we? I mean, all of this is just, as I say, pure assumption. Anyway, be sure to leave your own thoughts and theories regarding that particular newspaper article in the comments section below. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to seeing you all again for the next one. Take care. Cheers.